All right, enough of that. How about some quick hits instead?
Let's go, Gab.
Inter and Juventus draw 0-0 in their Coppa Italia return leg, and Andrea Pirlo's side advance to the final. 2-1 on aggregate, Jules. Did they deserve it?
Right, you might disagree, but over the two legs, and especially our second leg, where I never really thought that Juve played, I really thought they were there to defend that 2-1 lead, and maybe that's what you do, and maybe Pirlo has turned a little bit into Max Allegri again, as we mentioned, after the weekend.
Pirlo said, I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah, well, do it, but that's not really why you were signed for originally, but I guess you have to evolve as well. He's a young manager. I just think I thought Inter were the better side in that second leg. They could easily have won it and qualified. I can see the frustration on Conte's and the players' face, and good for Juve if they go and win the Coppa Italia and it's Pirlo's first trophy in his first season. Good for them. I'm just still not really convinced by what's happening there.
I don't have a problem if somebody changes it around at this stage in a second leg semi-final, though it is a bit of a concern that over the three games that they played against Inter, the two Coppa Italia games that in the league, Inter, I thought, pretty much dominated in many ways.
I agree. Gab, we saw also a serious incident in that game between Antonio Conte and Juventus executive Andrea Agnelli as well during the match. What happened there?
All right, so here's a little bit like that classic Japanese tale, Rashomon, where different people give different versions. Yeah. And everybody's really concerned about. What we know for sure is that there was a back and forth continually going on between Antonio Conte and you said Fabio Paratici, Juventus's sort of de facto sporting director, and Andrea Agnelli, the Juventus president. At some point, Antonio Conte, when he's going into the tunnel, he gives the middle finger salute. He also said a bad word, and I still can't figure out what it is. I tried to imagine this.
But you could see it clearly. You could see it.
Well, no, it's not that. I think it might have been in Pulian dialect, because, well, whatever. I don't want to get into, there's different versions of it. I'm like, that's not that bad that you can't actually print it. Whatever. Agnelli, especially, Agnelli, that to me is the biggest concern, because he didn't take it well. He sort of stormed down the stands, shouting at him, totally out of control.
Yeah.
Look, part of me says, I love the WWE aspect of this. I don't necessarily find either character particularly likable. But you have an institutional role if you're Andrea Agnelli. And I'm going to hold a team president who is also a member of the UEFA Executive Committee, who is also the head of the European Clubs Association. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm going to hold him to a higher standard than Antonio Conte, who is basically an out-of-control shouting manager.
We know it. That's what he does.
And so I think they both let themselves down. There may be an investigation. There's this whole like cloak and dagger stuff with TV pictures, TV evidence. What do they actually say? Honestly, they should both come out. They should both apologize in public to Italian football as a whole, because this is pretty much unedifying. I know we had Lukaku and Ibrahimovic. Those guys are players in the middle of a game. Yeah. You're an executive.
Yeah,
okay?
That's different.
Move on. Be bigger than that. You may wonder why this world this comes from, and obviously there is a lot of bad blood between there. Not so much with Antonio, going back to when Antonio Conte walked out on Juventus after winning 3 straight titles, and then later, if you remember, there was a suggestion about him coming back to Juve. He and Paratici supposedly remained close, and then that was vetoed. Some people speculate that's behind it, but whatever it is, I mean, Conte is a Juve legend and will always be a Juve guy, no matter how many, no matter what he does at Inter. So it's really jarring and a really bad look that this is out there. Now, it takes them 120 minutes, but Manchester United eventually beat West Ham to advance. Jules, what did we learn other than the fact that without Pogba and Bruno Fernandes, they're not going to be breaking anybody down?
Nothing else. It was so dull. I was like, just do something else, please. I mean, you've got Alex Telles on the left. Okay, he can't defend, but certainly in terms of crossing the ball, quality of crosses, he can bring you something. He was never in a good position.
Donny van de Beek didn't carpe diem, did he?
No, but again, people going like, oh, look at Van de Beek. But in a team like that, with no structure around him, what do you want him to do? Yeah. All I wanted was Amad Traore to come on at some point.
Or even Amad Diallo, as he's now known.
Or Amad Diallo, yeah. To come on and just like brighten the game. and just like take the ball and dribble past 2-3 people. I don't care that he's so young. And that he's only played with the reserve team or the under 18 or whatever, but it was just like, come on. And then McTominay scores, and I guess you take. I'm
not going to blame Solskjaer for prioritizing the league.
No, of course not. However, just this could this could be the scenario that you see in the league and that we've seen already in the league where they can't break down anyone, even sometimes when Bruno is on the pitch.
Yeah.
So maybe work on this. And sticking with United and Amad Diallo or Amad Traore that we've just mentioned, he's been fined 50,000 euros for entering Italy with false document. No surprise, I guess.
Yeah, this goes back to when he first entered Italy. We've talked about this before.
I mean, he was 10 or 12, so it's not him
Yeah,
directly being
it's
fined.
this is part of the plea bargain.
Yeah.
I mean, a crime was still committed in the sense that it was effectively a child footballer trafficking ring that brought him and Hamid Traore, who's at Sassuolo, took these guys to Italy. Says, "Oh look, they're brothers, and guess what? These guys who are legally resident in Italy, oh look, they happen to be their parents, and so we're just bringing them over." And except those guys aren't their parents; they have different parents, and they ended a plea bargain. They got all the paperwork in order. There's a suggestion now Diallo could actually become an Italian citizen, which he would be entitled to based on residency, but then obviously entered illegally. Yeah. I think that is the next step, and United fans have nothing to worry about. It's all fine.
Yeah.
Zinedine Zidane switches to a back three, plays somebody named Marvin Park out wide, and they beat Getafe 2-0. Jules?
Yeah. Marvin Park, the Tranmere Rovers legend, who was there at the academy as a youth product. Listen, we've said everybody's injured. There's not many options. What I liked is that he changed the formation. He tried something different with the back three. Getafe I'm sorry, they're not a good team. And
they're really bad this season. They were always hard on the eye.
Yeah, but
you understand why Carlos Alenia went there? I don't understand.
I guess they were the only one there for him, and he wanted to play. I don't know, but it's a win. You take it. You move on. That back three worked. Ferland Mendy and Karim Benzema scored. By the way, Varane scored 2 against Huesca. Then 2 other Frenchmen scored against Getafe.
All right.
It's true. Come on. This is a French club.
You know what's funny? The feed I was watching on, the guy, I think he was Irish, instead of calling them, saying like, oh, and the Frenchman, he'd say, and the Frenchman, and the Frenchman. Thought, wow, this is different. Kind of like it.
Manchester City beat Swansea 3-1 in the FA Cup to make it 15 wins in a row in domestic competitions, in all competitions. Gab, that's a new record. Are you impressed?
Kinds of records don't really impress
me.
No domestic. No, I'm impressed with the run Manchester City are on, with the fact that they're so good, the fact that he can make a million changes. Although Swansea,
a strong team. It was Swansea a strong team still,
made a bunch of changes as well, because obviously they're chasing promotion. I'm impressed with what Manchester City's done. 14, 15, 16, 17. They beat Preston in 18, 91, 92. It's not really relevant to me. A goal from my man, Moise Kean, gives Paris Saint-Germain a 1-0 win in the French Cup. All well, Jules, or are you a little worried about Neymar?
It's all about Neymar. It's all about his injury on that sort of left groin. He left the pitch after 55 minutes or something. He's going to have scans today on Thursday when we record this. There's a big fear that he might not be fit for the Barcelona clash in the Champions League on Tuesday, which again will be the curse of the Champions League for him in Paris. It'll be really sad, but we'll have to just wait and see.
We sure he's not just pretending?
I don't think so. I mean, it might not be much, and it might just be a scare. And before there was big scares, and actually there was not much in the end. But you could also sense the anxiety from PSG right now. A late Iheanacho goal sends Leicester City past Brighton and into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. But Gab, I want to ask you about Mike Dean, who was the referee for this game after receiving death threat at the weekend after the red card for Souček, but he won't be taking charge of a Premier League match this weekend. He asked not to be refereeing this weekend.
Yeah, look, obviously, if you make threats against somebody's life or their family, that is a crime. They should find you and put you in prison. There's no question about that. I'm not 100% clear, though, why this happens on Sunday night and he's fine to referee on Wednesday, but then he can't referee at the weekend. It doesn't change the fact that I think from in a professional sphere, what he did was really bad. He did a really bad job, he and Lee Mason. And this whole thing about, it's you with your criticism that leads people making death threats. No, it doesn't lead people making death threats. They're completely different things. And one's criminal, and let's hope they find the bad guys.
Yeah, I agree.
Raymond Domenech is in the news again, Jules. I can't wait.
Raymond Domenech.
Raymond Domenech.
46 days. 8 games, 0 win. I mean, we warned everyone. We said to them, why? Why would you do that to your club?
But he's a very competent theater critic, apparently.
Yaya Toure has joined the coaching staff of Olympic Donestk, which is the third team from Donetsk after Shakhtar and Metallurg. Gab, it's great that he's getting this kind of opportunity there.
At Olympic Donetsk.
Seventh in the league. It's not too bad.
I don't know the ins and outs. I think, we talk a lot about diversity, great coaching staff, great players. Obviously, his brother, Kolo Toure, is a prominent, very successful assistant coach. Obviously, just because they're brothers doesn't mean that they're both going to be good at it. I would have thought somebody of his stature could have gotten a shot someplace closer to home. That's all I'm saying. Look, I know he's lived in Donetsk before. He started, I think, at Metallurg.
He did play 2 seasons there, yeah.
Donetsk. So maybe have you been to Donetsk?
Yeah.
I have, yeah. So we've both been there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he likes to see, I don't know. Maybe he likes Ukrainian food. But it's good for him. We wish him well.
Yeah, of course. We learn. This is
it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
I just would have thought, maybe you could have learned a little bit. And I'd also hate it if this was some kind of PR thing, because does he speak Russian or Ukrainian?
I believe not.
Yeah, that's another kind of weird thing. Like,
sure.
I don't know. But
let's hope for him.
Good luck to Yaya.
Yeah, good luck.
He's one of the good guys.
It is.
Well, that brings us to an end. Jules, you're going to be back on Monday. I won't be here because guess what? I'm going on holiday. So long, suckers.
Yeah, I hope.
Until then, well, not really going anywhere. You can't go anywhere. We're in lockdown.
No, exactly.
Until then, love the game. Love your neighbor. Love yourself.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.